they've been having the band Rat on that stupid commercial. So I got that stupid Round and Round song stuck in my head.
The what commercial? Sorry,
I don't know.
haven't been watching TV.
I don't know what it is, but it is annoying. It's a commercial and they just have Rat on there, and I'm just like, this is awful. All right. Well, anyways, we are live, so we're gonna do some things here. So we got Pete from the Rage Quit Wire back at it again, and once again we have my friend Dennis on here who is painting up some lovely Necrons
Hello.
in preparation for, I assume, the new edition.
Just to kind of have an outlet for my excitement. I don't know if I'm gonna play them exclusively, but
So what are you painting
just
right now? Their weird transport thing.
it's their Annihilation Barge, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
All right. So we got some cool 40K painting going on, and I don't know if I've seen you paint a lot of red before, Dennis. So that's kind of interesting.
Um, so I've seen it before. People have been doing a lot at Necrons for a long time, but you remember the Blood Knight like tank set from World of Warcraft and like Wrath of the Lich King, and it was like red,
Yeah.
blue, and black. And
Yeah.
like the blue or glowy bits were blue.
Yeah.
See, that's kind of what I'm going for here. So
Okay. All right, and then I am going to be painting some malifaux stuff. So I'm actually painting a lot of Bayou. I switched factions already, which a lot of people are making fun of me for, because that's what Pete does. I don't know if you remember me switching a lot of factions, Dennis, but I definitely do that a lot. So I'm onto the Bayou.
I thought that was pretty well known, actually.
It is. It's pretty well documented. Any game I've played, I'm like, ooh, shiny object. So I basically picked up three key words, and I'm going to start painting two of them. So the first one that I'm doing is I'm painting Infamous, and I'm painting whatever the drunken brewmaster's crew is called. I don't know if it's Tri Chi. That might be the right word for it. Might keyword. I don't know. But I'm painting those models because they are filthy disgusting. So we have these iron skeeters, which are pretty cool models. I am terrified I'm going to break a wing off of them, though. I'm going to set them over to the side so I don't bust a wing off of them. They're very flimsy models. Then we have old Captain Zip himself, who is blasting off, so I'm really excited to paint some reds and blues on this guy. He has his Zip Zap gun, so he is very annoying for people to play against. We have his totem, which basically is chained and had their airship taken over by Zip and his basically pirates. First Mate, which is a crazy lizard. And then I picked up Maris as well, so it's a lady with a jetpack. She's a handsome, handsome lady. And then the Brewmaster, which I'm really excited about. This is the one I want to get painted up and put out. I don't know, and I might talk to you this while we're painting Dennis, but I don't know how I want to paint him because I don't want to paint him like just black robes because I think that'll be boring. So I'm trying to think of another way to do it. But they have a lot of just traditional robes on them. And of course, they got kegs that they're carrying around. So I got the Brewmaster. I have his apprentice Wesley. I have the old Fingers there, which is his henchman. And then we have these shinobis, which are basically these drunken monks that are doing all these crazy poses and drinking and having a good time. And then the last model that I am also very excited about is this whiskey golem. So it's just this big golem that is made out of kegs and can shoot whiskey at people. So I'm really excited to paint that up as well. Yeah, a lot of shenanigans. Reminds me a lot about orcs and goblins.
Yeah, that's one faction I kind of want to paint, but also kind of don't because of the number of models.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I'm going to start. I'll probably actually kind of go a little bit back and forth because I'm going to start with a lot of the same colors. I'm going to use like the greens for their skin. And then I'll kind of go, I don't know, man. I'm thinking maybe like purples, like a dark black and purple scheme for the robes for the brewmaster and stuff. I don't know.
That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. When personally you're talking about brewmasters and things like that, I was thinking Little John from Robin Hood. Just give him brown robes.
Just give him brown robes. I mean, could do that too.
But if you want to do purple, you could also throw in purple in the shades and stuff.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Like I said, it's one of those things where I'm not sure how I want to do it yet. I just know that I want it to pop and kind of be a little different. So I haven't actually mulled over that paint scheme yet. So I'm actually not sure. I was actually thinking about that when I started getting the models out right before we recorded. I was like, I don't even know what color I'm going with these guys, but they're ready.
That is, what's the word I'm thinking of? You're shooting from the cuff on that one, huh?
Yep. We're just going to go from the hip, and I might look at some pictures here. Once I switch the camera, maybe back to you, I'll kind of pull some stuff up and see what works as far as the brew crew there. Make sure I'm getting that camera good.
Ah, crap.
Yeah, so when's the last time you were painting some stuff there, Dennis? Been a little bit since we did this.
About since we recorded last.
Okay.
I packed up all my stuff, and then, I was like, oh, all right, I'm going to move. And then, things happened, and I'm still waiting to move. So I decided to break it all out again just to keep myself occupied.
There you go. And you're just like, ooh, shiny Necron stuff coming out.
Yeah. It's funny because I've been going through this like weird phase where AOS, I liked playing it. It was exciting, but there's just not enough tooth to it. I don't know what it is, and I'm trying to figure out what about the game or the models or the armies that just isn't grabbing my attention like 40K is.
Yeah.
Because I always want to come back to 40K. AOS comes in phases.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I do not have any desire to go to either one of those systems.
Fair.
Because the only part of that game that I'm interested in are the models. So because of that, I'm just like, you know what? Models aren't the only thing that can hold me over. The game's got to be playable.
Yeah.
I saw they revealed something about how new flyers might work in their new edition. I didn't read it, but I saw it today, and I was like, man, that if I was going to play that game, that would be where I think things would be made or broken.
Flyers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really read too much about the 9th edition, but from what I'm hearing, just based on the general like reveals here and there, I'm a little worried about some factions like Eldar. My strategy with the Dark Eldar was to hit people with and their big tanks with venom, so they couldn't move or shoot at my my really really fragile stuff.
Yeah.
But now that they can shoot you in combat, it's like, well, I don't know, but I'm sure there's something there to counter it.
Yeah.
But I totally feel you. I mean, the system, it's been awkward because you have the sorry, my brain is not working at full capacity right now.
You're right.
What am I thinking of? The FLG's rule set where they did all the tournament rules and stuff. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah, it was RT. No, I can't remember what the heck it was called.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, that rule set, they had that going on, and then GW had their own rule set, and then there's just several different rule sets for just different tournaments depending on which region you're in, and it's like, well, how the hell do you expect to balance a game if you've got all of these things going?
Yeah, right.
On. You're receiving people in America saying, hey, these things are broken because, they're following FLG's rule set. And then you got people in, Europe who are like, no, it's not that broken. You guys just need to deal with this because they got a different rule set. And it's it's been interesting kind of watching how that's evolved.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping what they do with this new edition is say, okay, look, if you're going to hold a tournament, we're balancing based on this rule set and nothing else. And that comes from GW themselves, not other companies.
Not the fans.
Not the fans.
That is not going to work. Yeah. Does this not go on either one of them? Okay, it does. I just had to open that up a little bit. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I don't know. It's just I don't know how hard it would be just to update and modernize their rules and just be like, you want to know what? We're going to alternating activations.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't think that would be hard to do. I think a lot of people would. I would like that game system a lot better if they did that.
I think it'd be interesting. I don't know, because in most game systems that you're talking about, right? They have the alternating activations. Don't they have like equal model count on both sides?
Not always.
Not always.
That's what I'm saying, and they have certain, depending on the game, you have mechanics in place to deal with that. So, like, for example, malifaux, you have a pass token system where if you have more activations than me, I get that many pass tokens, and I can spend those throughout the turn.
Okay.
And then there is, so if you look at a Song of Ice and Fire, they don't always have the same amount of activations. And there's no catch-up mechanic for that. It's just once you run out of activations, you're just out of activations. So you're kind of rewarded for, like, if you're short on activations, it might just be because your units are really powerful.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it would be hard. I just think they're just refusing this point just because they're like, we're Games Workshop and we'll do it how we damn well please.
I don't know. I'm like, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of trying it. The only thing I have to say about that is just from a gameplay perspective, from my perspective anyways, I should say, is like, if I'm playing a game and I'm stuck doing nothing, that becomes quite boring, and I don't like it. I don't like it when there's no interactivity, if that makes sense. And it's something I experienced with AOS, especially when I played against Zinch. Everybody's casting on a 2-dice system or 2d6 system, and Zinch has got like plus 14, and next thing you know, you can't counter anything they're doing, so you're kind of just sitting there going, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hate the fact that those games, if all of a sudden they just alpha strike you and you're left without your stuff, you can go a whole game without activating any of your cool things that you wanted to play.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Pete, I just joined. It looks like a Hex Wraith. So I'm actually painting up the Zip crew for malifaux. So I'm working on the first mate currently. And I know Dennis is working on some Necron shenanigans over there.
Just a whole blob of red Necrons.
A lot of red going on over there. Yeah, thanks for joining. We got, let's see, Michael and Nathan joined on the Facebook page, so I appreciate you guys hopping on and painting. Hopefully you're painting with us. I know when I watch different people paint, sometimes I'll just paint stuff and I'll just try some stuff that they're doing and see how it goes.
Yeah, what inspired me to break out the Necrons, besides just being excited about 9th edition and changes, is I saw this YouTube video from Miniac, and he and 2 other guys were doing basically a how long can you stay up and paint challenge.
Yeah.
But the thing I saw, I think it was, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he basically brought out an entire army and is like, okay, I'm going to paint these guys to tabletop standard, and I'm going to try to, do the entire army all at once. And I was like, that sounds like an idea I've never tried before, so I'm going to try it. See how long it takes before I burn out.
I've only done that for like a tournament. It's like I have to paint this stuff up.
Well, this is me coming from painting that shark and just going like, why am I spending 20 hours on this model? I don't. It's cool, but I don't really care about it that much.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I saw that too. I saw somebody painted up like a bunch of Marines. Like it was like some kind of like 24-hour challenge. They wanted to see how much they could paint.
Yeah, that's what it was actually. Like I said, I can't remember his name. Bunch of Chaos Marines and things like that.
Yeah, I just saw it on like my Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see how much of the infamous crew I can paint up. Get these infamous done, and then work on the old brew crew. All right. Yeah, so we're going with this kind of dark green skin for a lot of these models. The hell's screaming in your background?
Cousin and their stupid guests. I might go yell at them here in a bit.
Squidmore.
Squidmore.
Nope, just painting a bunch of goblins that are flying around on mosquitoes and jetpacks. I usually don't go with this dark of a green either on my goblins, so it's kind of something different that I'm doing that I don't usually do. I usually go with this kind of like puke green for my greenskins. So I'm starting with this darker base, and then I'm going to work up to kind of a forest green. So we'll see how that works out.
Now you gonna do bright purple robes then?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna, when I switch it over to your camera here, after I get some of these base colors down for zip, I'll look at a couple of schemes and see what kind of looks good to me. I really don't have a good idea of what I want to do with them.
Yeah, we're seeing how. So these are I'm actually on one of the steps I've been most worried about doing it this way, which is I'm actually ink washing, I guess with the technique they call, where instead of doing a wash, you're just actually going in the crevices and painting those lines yourself.
Yeah.
I've been worried about like steps like that, but at the same time, since I have such a massive load of dudes to do, it's almost kind of like, it actually doesn't feel as grueling.
Yeah.
Because you kind of expect it to be that way.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting when you get into something that you're kind of dreading, and it's one of those things where you almost just got to kind of rip the Band-Aid off and just do it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, I've had some models where it's like sitting on your paint table forever. Because you're just like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, and eventually you just got to kind of make yourself paint it.
Yeah. I've got a 2 Sisters of Battle Exorcist, the old one, that I need to paint up.
Talking about the plastic metal
combo. Oh
yeah.
It's
awful.
I agree. I have hurt myself on those things so many times. But I bought them and I kind of want to get them painted just to have that, I did this.
What's the there was a dreadnought that had, it was a walker that had like a dude in it, but it was like a pope looking dude and he was hanging out the top of it. Can't remember what it is.
Oh, are you talking about the Grey Knights thing?
Is it a Grey Knight model?
No, it's an Inquisition actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It got discontinued. I don't remember what its name was, but I remember what you're talking about. Yeah. That thing was awesome.
Yeah, well, it was a pain to put together. It was like in 1,000 pieces.
Was it all metal?
It was when it first came out. And then those one Zealot models where it was like this metal walker and it had the dude hanging off of it the energy was being sucked out of it.
Yeah, Penton engines.
Yeah.
I still got those. They're all plastic and fancy now.
Yeah, they need to be plastic because they were freaking miserable.
Actually, I remember going to the shop and a guy had them, and I was talking to him about the new models and stuff. He was like, I'm just really upset about the Penton engines, and he brought out like the old one, and I was just like, that thing looks like you could just blow on it and it'll fall apart.
Yeah. Pretty much. This guy's kind of crazy looking. He's like, so these iron skeeters, they're mosquitoes, but they're actually like kind of jet bikes because they're actually like machines just meant to look like skeeters. So they have these little like levers that they use for like the gas and so they can go fast. And this guy is just like pulling down on it like he's going full speed. And his hair is kind of going in the back, and it's just like, man, this goblin's loving life on this thing. He's just zooming around. Oh man. I started playing this faction, which was a mistake, I admit. But I just started playing them, and I was just like, man, this is awesome. Because Dennis, the guy with the jetpack, he goes into combat with people, and he basically just, it's called Up We Go. He just takes them and he launches them into the air with his jetpack.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So does he do like damage based on the size of the model or something, or is it just a cool, flavorful thing?
Let me know, Nathan, what you're working on there as far as miniature games. I'd be interested to hear about that. What were you saying with that, Dennis?
Oh, is his damage based on the size of the model he's picking up, or is it?
It is. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
it's based off of their size. So the bigger you are, the harder it is for him to pick you up. But if you're a little model, he can just pick you up and just throw you around. Do you remember the Orc Weird Boy?
Yes.
He has a gun that's like that, where it can like push people across the board. It's called his Zip Zap gun. Like, I think I played the other night and I pushed one of my buddy's models like, oh God, it was something crazy like 10 inches across the board or something.
Jeez.
And Malifaux is a smaller game, right? It's played on like a 3x3.
So 10 inches is a lot.
Oh, that's cool. Maximum Apocalypse: The 12 Survivors. I don't know if I don't know what that is. I don't think. Sounds like a board game. Which I don't know if you've been looking at a lot of the board games coming out, Dennis, but a lot of these board game miniatures are really cool looking.
I have not. I basically just did watch the cool mini or not stuff and see if there's anything cool. But last thing I invested in was the Blood Rage, and then kind of stopped paying attention because
Did you
it's
paint
a lot of money.
Did you paint those models?
I've painted a few of them, but I haven't completed painting all of them.
Okay.
They're incredible, though.
Yeah, I saw those, and I think Eric has that. It's the same company, but it makes the samurai one, whatever that's called, something Rising.
Huh.
So it's this. I believe it's the same company, but they just have. God, I gotta look. I don't know if this Brewmaster has pants on or if those are supposed to be his legs. Let's quick check.
For you to decide. I mean, he's a brewmaster. I think he wouldn't have pants on.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, Dark Souls. That's cool. I like Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is pretty fun.
Yeah, the miniatures on that are pretty sweet. What is this?
I imagine they would be, because the art of that game is amazing.
Yeah, the art's always good. All right, let's see here. Brewmaster, pants or no pants? What do you think, Dennis? Pants or no pants?
No pants? Come on.
Brewmaster, malifaux. Pictures. All right, survey says no pants. Yep, he is not wearing any pants. He's got no pants dance going on.
I'm surprised it's still even a question.
I feel like that Dark Souls game got a bad rep because it took forever um, for the Kickstarter to come out. A lot of people were waiting on that for like a long time, and it pissed a lot of people off.
Are you talking about is like the actual Dark Souls licensed stuff, or are you talking about that game that was very much like Dark Souls and like the?
He's talking about the actual Dark Souls, which I believe Steamforged came out with models and a board game for that system.
Kingdom Death. That was the one I thought you were talking about there for a second.
Nope.
I know a lot of people were very upset with it.
Why?
Oh, because it took a very, very long time for them to actually receive their product.
Oh.
Good stuff, though.
Yeah, it is. My buddy's, the guy I do the podcast with, Chris, is big into Kingdom Death. The models are amazing, except for all those like vagina monsters.
Yeah.
See those, and I'm just like, what the hell, man? Why? It's probably the biggest reason I can't get into that game is just like there's too many penises and boobs.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same side with that one. It's just like it's cool and all. I like the art about it, and it's just like it felt a little forced, the macabre at some points. I'm just like, eh.
That was it's just like, and don't get me wrong, I like, some really kind of gruesome, detailed looking minis, but there's just at a certain point where it's like, this is a little much, like.
Yeah.
I'm all for purpose. Like, if it was a game and it's like, hey, this is like the, Forest of Suicides, or this is, like the, Circle of Hell where, people that did this go, and it shows that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, that serves a purpose, not just to show it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it goes for things. It's a common complaint to hear about, like stuff like World of Warcraft, or even, my brain is totally fading. Warhammer. You're looking at Space Marines and their giant shoulder pads, and it's like, yeah, that serves no purpose other than to look cool.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it makes I understand that complaint. So.
Yeah.
But.
All right.
You like what you like.
It's true. Oh man, you. So apparently Nathan's also painting up Zombicide, the Green Plague. I painted up some of the Zombicide stuff for God, what the hell's the space version called? Whatever the space Zombicide version's called. I painted up a bunch of models for that. Command does a lot of really cool models.
Yeah. Is the Green Plague the medieval version? I
believe so. I haven't played that version, but I believe it is, and it looked pretty cool when I checked out a couple of the boxes.
Yeah, I was looking at backing it, but it got extremely expensive very fast. I'm like, okay, kind of past my point of wanting to do this.
Well, and that's why it's tough, right? Because board games are expensive, and I mean, how much do you want to sink into? Like, unless you really like board games, I feel like you're not going to sink money into it, because if you're like me and you do more tabletop games, I'm going to play a board game maybe once or twice a year if it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I going to spend hundreds, or in some extreme cases, $1,000 on a board game that I'm not going to play that often?
Yeah, and you're talking about the reason I stopped doing those Kickstarters, because I love and adore the Blood Rage models, but I'll be honest, I think I've played that game maybe a total of 5 times since I bought it.
Yeah, I've played it once.
And I mean, again, I love and adore those models, and I'll probably bring them out and have them in a showcase somewhere, but that's it.
Well, I mean, I feel like you had to get it because they're Vikings, right?
Well, yeah, and Adrian Smith was the guy doing the designs for everybody, so.
Yeah. I mean, if it's Vikings, Dennis is all in.
Yeah, by the way, I still need to play that the TTS version of Ice and Fire, so I can decide whether or not I'm going to invest in the wildlings.
Well, you want to know what? You just let me know, Dennis, and I can run you through it.
All right, because I think I'm about 80% there.
I think the biggest thing is when I push people towards a game, though, is you got to have people to play the game with.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's like, okay, why are you getting this, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the only reason I haven't actually gone out and bought those, because, here's the arguments. One, I have a ton of miniatures already to paint.
Yeah.
I'm determined this year to catch up on that miniature painting, although there's been some things I've done that have been counterintuitive to that. But,
Is that what you call painting random Necrons?
No, this is part of my Grey Horde that needs to be painted.
Oh, fair.
But, no, I've bought some miniatures. That was correct grammar. Bought some miniatures, so yeah, I've kind of put myself behind a little bit.
I've done that. So I think what Nathan's talking about here is getting stuff like that soul, whatever you call it, and he's talking about flipping them like after he paints them. Because I think that's definitely something I've noticed with game board or board game people is they don't want to paint their stuff, but they like it painted.
Oh, so he'll pick up a game and then paint it and then sell it?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kind of like me picking up an army just to paint it so I can sell it.
Yeah. Which we're both commission people. I've been painting a lot of Crisis Protocol miniatures lately for people. Because that's another game where I feel like there's a lot of players who they don't want to paint their stuff.
How does that game play? I've actually never really seen it played.
It's okay. It's a simple game. It feels like you're playing superheroes, which is cool. But if you're looking for a tactical game, I wouldn't say it's super tactical.
Okay, that's the one with the Marvel stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I know what it was. It's like I knew I recognized the name. Sorry, I'm not a comic book geek. I kind of just don't care.
Well, I mean, I stay up on anything that's tabletop based. I stay up on pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, it's just not my thing. That's all.
It's kind of like my second job that doesn't pay.
But you love it, and that's what's important.
I do. I mean, that's the biggest reason I like just putting out content and talking to people about it, and getting better at games and just enjoying it. Who would have thought that people would like to hear me and my buddy Chris talk about different games?
I mean, I watched that. It was about a month or two ago. You guys were playing. Again, names are failing me today.
Was it God Tier?
Yes, it was God Tier. You were playing the water faction, and he was playing other things. And you were annoying him the entire time. It was awesome.
I mean, that's what I do. Well, he was slow playing the shit out of it. I was like, dude, just pick it up. Fuck's sake. It's like when he plays something he does not know how to play, like it's brand new to him, he takes for friggin' ever. It's like, dude, just come on.
Analysis paralysis.
You're not going to make the perfect move. Just go. I think you're going to mess stuff up. Just play. Nobody wants to, watch you read cards.
Yeah, have you had to tell a lot of players at the game shops, hey man, you're going real slow over there, right?
Yeah. Not too much. I think most people are pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Dude,
I had to tell a couple people, and it was hard to say, like, yo, I don't have all night, man.
It depends. There's times where I'm just like literally there and I don't care how long it takes. But then, yeah, there's other times where it's like, okay, man, come on, let's do something here. This monk is my favorite, this shinobi, because he's drunk dancing, fighting on. It's like he's breakdance fighting. And he has like a beer bottle that he's spinning on his finger and on top of his foot because he's upside down. I'm like, yes, this is awesome.
I see. Malifaux reminds me of like War Machine a little bit, just the kind of style.
Yeah. Well, it used to. I mean, War Machines kind of exploded into more like 40K.
Yeah. Which I have not heard very much about War Machine recently, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's not doing super hot right now. There's a lot of people that still like playing it, but there's just so much going on with that game. Like I don't know how you play enough games to get competitive with that because just the sheer amount of casters, combinations, units, attachments that you would have to play test just to be aware with that. It's just super ridiculous.
And so it's just getting overbloated at the moment.
I think so.
I've been kind of wondering that about 40K actually. I mean, I know they've had a lot of stuff in the past, but how do you stop overbloating and how do you balance it all?
Oh, that's what I was actually about to say. I don't think that it is overbloated because what they do, and this has always been Games Workshop's model, is that there's always something that's really good and there's always something that's just trash. And
Now,
and then people you don't have to worry about balancing the trash stuff because it's not good.
and a minority of people will be complaining about it, and you don't have to really listen to it.
Yep.
Makes sense.
All right, we got. God tier is really cool. I actually there's a couple of champions I want to finish up. I'm gonna try to get back to streaming some painting. It's been, I'm telling you, the last like 2 weeks has been like fucking hell. It's in the Kane household, anyways. Those of you that have kids, when your kid's like barking at the moon and just acting ridiculous, that's what my last 2 weeks have been. I was playing in a malifaux vassal league, and I was just like, I told the guy, it's like, hey man, I can't do this league right now. It's too much with what I got on my plate. Malifaux takes forever to play on vassal. That's the main reason I stopped.
What's Vassal for us people who don't know what it is?
It's basically just a simulator, but it's not like tabletop simulator where it's not 3D, it's 2D.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Is that provided by the Malifaux creators themselves, or is it just kind of
Nope.
resourced?
Some fans basically created all the digital stuff and they update it with the cards and stuff, and yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's okay, but since it's like 2D, you have to do more explaining, and because of that, I can't spend 5 hours playing that game.
Yeah.
Because a regular malifaux game, I feel like takes you like 2.5, 3 hours, kind of like a 40K game almost. If you're playing really competitive, you can get it done in like 2 hours. Let me check this out real quick. But yeah, the god tier models are amazing. I'm super pumped about those models. Where are you?
Yeah, if I had people around here who played it, I'd definitely invest. That some of those models are really incredible.
Yep, I agree. We started a nice play group here for sure. And that game's cool because you can get a game of that in like 45 minutes to an hour. Alright, we got one more we're going to do the green skin on, and then we're going to see what we're doing paint scheme wise for these guys. So we'll focus on old Necrons over there.
Just a lot of pin washing. Super fascinating over here.
A lot of what?
Pin washing?
I don't even know what the hell pin washing is.
No, it's instead of taking your wash and actually just mopping it all over the model, you're actually putting your wash in the creases. In fact, I'm actually using contrast paint to do it.
Yeah. I would say God Tier is actually another game I could do on online with you if you really wanted to try it.
Yeah, I'd be down.
And that's actually, you got a 3D free mod for it, so.
Turns out I like games, so yeah, I'll definitely give that a try.
Alright, and then let's get this last dude. The Apprentice. Oh, these I'm telling you, man, these Bayou models are just cool. Yeah, so there's like a samurai faction in this game, which I'm not a samurai guy. That's not like an aesthetic that appeals to me. But all of a sudden I started playing Bayou, and then I saw this, like Drunken Master, Trouble in Little China kind of thing going on. And I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. This is going to be one of the masters I pick up. They even have these like fuzzy raccoon things that are like getting drunk. And then they have these like demons that are also like poison and getting drunk and stuff too. So it's just cool because I could just play it and drink a beer while I'm doing it. Be in theme.
Right, see, it's they're, and one of the things I was reading about for 9th edition of 40K, they were talking about the Crusade system where you can play at any point level, and I'm like, if they do that right, that would be the kind of game I'd probably play the most. Let's play 1,000 points and just have a beer or two, and not get super competitive because sometimes it can get awful lame.
I would say, shit, man, you remember probably back when, the lists were like 1,500, 1,750 for some tournaments, and it feels like the points just kept getting upscaled.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Okay.
Just trying to see if I couldn't sneak a peek at some of the models and the factions, but it's going to be a little bit more complicated than I expected.
In what factions?
Oh, malifaux.
Oh. Yeah, it just depends.
They've always had cool ideas for factions and stuff.
Well, yeah, it's like Wild West meets, Cthulhu meets fantasy meets Victorian Age. It's just, there's a lot of cool themes going on there.
Yeah.
Let's see what you're working on there. Oh, you also have the Corsair headset. Very nice.
Yep. I think isn't yours red or something like that?
I don't know. Let's see here. It is. It's black.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yep. While you have the helm here, while I'm talking to you, let's walk through some of these paint schemes here. Okay. See, this is kind of interesting. So this person went black, but they have like yellow as the off color. So some of the cloth and stuff is yellow.
And the skin of the goblins is black, or is it?
No, so the robes are black, but some of the bandanas are like this yellow, and their hand wraps are yellow, and some of the tunics and stuff are yellow.
It's interesting.
I won't do yellow, but I won't pitch that idea. Let's just kind of take a quick screenshot there. All right, let's see what else we got. I think painting black is just kind of lazy in my opinion.
Hey, don't knock it.
Well, it can be lazy, or it can. Black's actually tough to paint well.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I kind of have my own little formula doing it, but I'm also altering it at the same time because I'm thinking about what materials they've got. Like if it's supposed to be super glossy, and me doing my non-metallics, I'm jumping in there and trying to do that stuff as well.
Yeah. Or
kind of,
I can just paint everybody as their own individual and just have different colors on all of them.
There you go. That'd be kind of funny.
Let's see here, any other cool ones. I don't know. Let's see here. If I do brown robes, let's see here. Let's just look up drunken monks images. I'm seeing a bunch of old white fat monks that are drinking beer.
In brown robes?
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, like Little John. That's the first thing I thought of.
Let's see here. If I'm going to do brown robes, I mean, I can do brown robes and then maybe some of the other pieces of cloth just have the color.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to make it like 100% brown. You could do it also on the red side, so you have that color contrast between green and red.
Are you talking about make the robes brownish red?
Yeah, so like...
I don't know if I have a brown red, though. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, I've got the Vallejo terracotta, and that's probably like what my highlight color would be. But not the edge highlight. Probably go for a tan or something like that.
Vallejo terracotta. See what this looks like. How can I get that effect? I could almost do a corn red and then wash it with a brown.
Yeah.
That might give the desired effect. Okay. We'll mess with that later. All right, let's see how the chat's doing. Going back to the chat.
Why is this guy being really boring with a bunch of Necrons? It's just red and black.
Lots of red and black. Well, and really, I just can see your golden hair.
Oh.
and your fancy microphone, and you're just huddled over it.
I probably fix that. My bad.
That is your bad. That is, in fact, your bad. That's right, I'm transitioning anyways. Back to putting you in the corner, Dennis.
Yeah, it's probably a good place for me tonight.
And nobody puts baby in the corner.
Oh.
And then let's do for you. So this guy has kind of a cool kind of uniform where it's almost like an army jacket, and then he has like this kind of sailor cap on. So almost wondering if I should do like a blue kind of jacket that this lizard guy's wearing, and then like a red cap. I don't know. Would blue, red, and green kind of look weird, kind of going off of each other?
No, it depends. You'd have to make the shades just right.
Well, I'm trying to think if I want. Because blue and green are kind of in the same part of the color circle here, so I don't know if I want. Why is your camera now black? What do you do?
Because I didn't want to make people sick while I'm moving it.
Oh.
Hey, do people want to get dizzy and nauseous? All right.
Hmm.
All right. That's not much better, to be honest.
I mean, I think it's better because you can actually see.
Yeah,
See,
yeah. You like seeing my hand?
I mean, once you put models down there, right? Oh God, I'm gonna be sick.
Sorry.
You're not sorry.
No, I'm not. We'll see. I'm doing the best I can. Sorry, guys.
Lies. Lies. What is this? All right, let's paint these flames up. Oh crap, I forgot to paint her legs. Wait, when I gotta go back and paint a color I've already painted.
You ever have a big batch of stuff you're painting, and you knock one model off, and you get finished with everybody, and you look down and you see that one dude? You're like, man.
I don't know if I've ever done that.
I have. That's why I don't really like the idea of painting People's Mechanicus anymore.
Yeah.
Also, they always want that gear trim. I freaking hate painting that gear trim so much.
What do you mean, the gear trim?
So if you look at Mechanicus models on GW's site, they've got the, like at the bottom of the robes and stuff, they got the little trim at the bottom of the robes that are gear shaped.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a pain in the ass to do it and do it cleanly.
Huh. Interesting.
No, it's painful.
So it's
Sorry,
just
people who like it.
It's just like the trim of their cloth then.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've had to do that with other models, not that, but the last thing I had to do that on was like the Lannisters. They had a lot of like gold trim on their cloth, which you can totally ignore and just paint red, but most people want like that trim to be a different color.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it makes the model pop more when you do that, but you're right, it can be a pain in the dick.
Sorry, I meant to say I had to freehand that trim.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not something that's like on the model.
Mm-mm.
Oh dear.
It's a blast.
No thanks. That's funny because I'm painting Zip in his blast trail right now. He actually has a defensive mechanism on him that's called blast off. So if you flip the symbol and you hit the trigger, basically after the attack's resolved on him, he gets to blast 6 inches away. He's just like, see ya, bitches.
Seems very tricksy. It seems right up your alley, too.
I love just jank. Just love it. He drops piano markers, too. So he's like a cartoon character just dropping pianos on top of people. He's the hero that we need. So his backstory is actually really cool, right? So I don't know, are you at all familiar with the background of malifaux?
Negative, sir.
So basically there was this breach, right? So our world, there was this opening that popped open and it's called the breach. Basically, it got to the point where they actually built a train that can go between like our world and Malifaux's world. So Malifaux is like a very dangerous place. There's like monsters and there's demons and spirits and raising of the dead and all sorts of shit. So, anyways, this hole opened up. So now there's basically passage between our world and their world. So we have normal, everyday humans who are now going over to the breach and interacting with these other beings. So it's kind of interesting because you have like the normalcy of what the world would be in the late 1800s, and then you have all this crazy malifaux stuff. But anyways, the faction or the people in the background that are in control are called the Guild. And basically, they're like the police officers of, malifaux. They stop all the crazy stuff from happening. They stop all the insurrections and all the, zombie apocalypse and all this stuff that can happen, right? So,
Yeah.
anyways, they had this huge, like, Zeppelin. And Zip and his infamous crew took control of the Zeppelin and are now pirating that around the world of malifaux. So you have all these like goblins that basically took control of it, and Zip's totem is actually a guy that was a mechanic on the Zeppelin that just he's in the wrong place and he's just stuck there now working for Zip. So I love that. Like once I heard that backstory, I was like, oh my god, this dude's awesome.
That is now my army. Well, I guess not army, but faction.
Your crew.
My crew.
Yeah, they actually have a cool podcast where there's a couple people that read the backstory and the fluff of the story. So it's pretty cool. I like it.
I mean, it's back when we played War Machine and Hordes. I was always super interested in minions because they're kind of similar. Just ridiculous stories and stuff.
That's funny. So we were talking about the color wheel, and Nathan's like, just use the color wheel without beer. It's easier to see it that way.
Without beer?
Yeah. I mean, you make probably better decisions that way.
I don't know. Depends.
I'm actually being kind of like I'm painting this stuff. I know I want certain colors. I'm actually being really indecisive about committing to colors on these crews right now. I'm probably just going to paint the base colors tonight, and then when we do this again, maybe tomorrow because you were talking about painting again, I'll continue painting this stuff. But I will probably know what I actually want these models to look like tomorrow.
If not, I'll just I'll like name a color, or use the random color generator off the web.
Nice. Just spin it.
Yep. That's what I do sometimes when I can't figure out color schemes. But for real, if another tool I like to use, Cooler. I don't know if you've used it. It's Kuler from Adobe.
Okay.
Go on there and you basically can pick a color and it'll allow you to do monochrome. Let me actually read the actual words before I forget. But it kind of helps you set up color schemes that work really, really well together based off colors you pick.
Yeah. Is that free?
Yes. Let me make sure. It's been a while since I've used it. They might have changed. Yeah, it's free. I'm using it right now.
Is that just on your phone?
Yep, it's a web app. It's not just on your phone, but it's a web app.
Okay, let's check this out. All right.
Yeah, it allows you to sit there and play with it. It's pretty cool. I've done it for when I do illustrations too. So.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just kind of weird. I usually have a better idea of what main colors I want it to look like, but literally I was kind of thinking about it. I'm like, I haven't actually I literally got these assembled like today. So I really haven't had time to think about color scheme a lot on these.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm hitting the colors that I know I want. Like obviously silvers and the fire for these jetpacks are going to be red. So just getting the stuff that I know I want it to be a certain way. Mm-hmm. This poor mechanic has like chains on him now. They just keep him chained up. Fix the ship, Earl. I think his name's Earl. Oh man, and they also you'll appreciate this. So I told you Zip drops pianos, right?
Yeah.
So they have one of his infamous crew is I think it's Mancho Roja or something like that. And he's a luchador wrestler, but he's a goblin. And if he's next to like piano markers, he gets like benefits, like he can hit people with them and stuff.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I'm just like, this faction just is yeah, this is the thing. This is it. Oh, this whiskey golem is so super sweet.
It's probably my favorite model you showed me.
Well, it looks very like goblin-esque because it's not well put together. It's just wood and metal and wood from barrels of whiskey, so that makes it even better. Which I like the mechanics of this as well. Did I go back? Apparently I left that. Let's go back and do it.
So how does the whiskey golem work?
So the mechanic for all of the brewmaster stuff is it's poison. So he's giving out poison to models that basically he's getting them drunk, which it gives them poison. And the poison does benefits because you actually want to poison your own models. So you poison your own models to make yourself better, but you poison the enemy model to obviously kill them and do things negatively because they're drunk. So it's a whole balance of just these poison markers that you can just stack on your opponent.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, anything that plays different like that, I'm kind of drawn to. I always like playing my opponent and just having him like, what are you doing to me right now? How does this work?
I always find it really interesting when I talk to people and try to figure out what is it that made you pick this army.
Yeah. My name is Earl. That was that's crazy how big that show was, but I feel like in the long run it is pretty underrated.
I don't think I've actually ever seen it.
It's good. It's the one where he like wins the lottery and then he tries to live his life based off of karma. So he's a criminal that goes around trying to fix all the dumb stuff he did while he was a criminal. And they're all like trailer park trash. It's a good show. I think it's on like Hulu or something. If you should give it a watch sometime if you haven't watched it before.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good.
I will give it a shot. Last thing I actually watched was something completely on the opposite side of the spectrum, but the Chernobyl thing from that HBO series.
I think I'm actually I just got done watching Band of Brothers, and I saw that, and I'm like, I know what? I've heard a lot of good things about that, so I think I'm gonna give that a watch.
Well, those good things were well deserved. I will put it that way.
Oh yeah, good show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will do that then.
I've always also kind of had an odd fascination for that disaster. Just everything that went on was so weird. So
Well, I think it lends itself to a lot of different things, right? There's a lot of mystique behind it, and a lot of just a lot of fantasy you can do with obviously it, and but it's isn't it kind of more of like a is it more like a documentary esque kind of thing?
Um, I don't know. When you say documentary, I'm looking at 100% historical accuracy. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but it kind of gives you the general highlights of what went on and kind of the
Okay,
attitude and political atmosphere behind it.
okay,
So,
I can get behind that.
but I've always been like, I kind of just wondered why there haven't been any any sort of horror movies based on that disaster and things like that, because you could really take it places.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of different routes you could take with that for sure. All right, let's back that up a little bit. Something we watched today that we hadn't, I've never seen before was we were kind of doing some family, TV watching, and we watched Holy Moly. It's that it's kind of a comedy where they do like a miniature golf thing, but it's kind of goofy and like punishes people and stuff. So it was actually more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. They troll the contestants pretty hard. We'll kind of leave that there, I think. All right. Let's switch this up a little bit. We'll give a kind of view behind the curtain here. All right, what is this thing called, Dennis?
The
app.
the app is called Cooler. It's Kuler.
Okay. Kuler.
Mm-hmm.
Color.
Yeah, actually, let me just send you a link. That'd be a lot easier, right? I actually changed the name.
I think I got it. Maybe. Or you can send me a link. That might be easier.
All right, it's sent.
Sent via.
It's in the Hangouts call.
Okay. It's like, are you sure you want to go there? I was like, yes.
Are you sure you're sure?
All right, then let's go ahead and do display. Oops, not that. That's just you. There we go. All right. No, I don't want to do a tour. I don't think I need that. Okay, so apply color harmony rule. Okay. I don't know. I'm open to doing something I haven't done before, Dennis. So I don't know. What's some like I don't know. Would a monochromatic model look okay? I don't know.
I think you're gonna find monochromatic really boring.
Yeah, because I think it would just look like a blob. Complement.
So you did dark green, right?
Yeah, I got like a dark green skin tone. So I'm almost looking at this complementary, where on the opposite end of the dark green I'm using, it kind of shows this kind of brownish red. And then obviously like the highlight of it. Like if you actually look at the was this doing that?
We're actually not seeing it on.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was just looking at actually. Let's do. Oh, because I didn't transition to it. That's why. Haha. All right. So, anyways, it'll pop up here in a second on the stream. But it's kind of got these, and this is complementary, where it has basically 2 on that side, and then the main color, and then it has like the brownish red and kind of the brighter. I don't know what kind of red you would call that, but it's up on the stream now if you want to see what I'm talking about. So yeah, I kind of like how that is. What else do we have? Oh, good God, double split looks crazy. Double split has like 5 completely different colors. It has like 3 that are close and then 2 on the opposite side of the complementary ones. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I mean, you did say you wanted to do something different.
I don't know.
Just throwing that one out there.
I don't know what that's the thing. I don't know what the benefit of a split complementary would even be.
Oh, honestly not much. Just get a bunch of different colors around the same.
Yeah. So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe this complementary color, like you were saying, with just going like the skin tones and then some of the other things, just shades of green, and then going into this kind of brownish kind of red to red.
That'd be cool.
We'll play with it. Well, I think that's probably what I'm going to go with. And let me see here. If I do, let's go to Triad. I almost want to do green, like, I wonder if I could find something that blue, like if I took this. Just if I could do a Triad and do the greens and blues and then still have the oranges and the brown. So maybe not even a red, maybe kind of like that red brown, but then highlight up to orange.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like a muddy orange almost. I'm going to bring the camera back up. I'm going to show you this model that I was working on and show you kind of what I'm thinking about now that I'm looking at this. All right, thanks for hanging out, Noah. It was good for you to check it out and listen to us while we were chatting. And those people that kind of come back and watch this, I think people need to do this.
Hold on a second.
What? Oh, God. Maybe Dennis is going to yell at somebody. But like I was saying, I think this is something that people need to think about more often when they're painting their models, is how they want all their stuff to look.
All right, back.
Because I think more people could really benefit from doing like the color theory and color wheels like this. So I think I might do this and just do like maybe a couple little blue accents somewhere. So like do the greens, the browns, and the oranges, but then a little blue kind of tidbit. Just like a little accent color, maybe like on belt buckles and stuff or goggles.
Yeah, that'll definitely make it look really good.
So I'll show you kind of, I'm going to go back to, let's get rid of that and go back. So I'm putting on kind of one of the models, and let me get rid of your thing there, Dennis. Okay. Hide. All right. So go away. So this is the model that I kind of am looking at, and I can envision these goblins and stuff looking like this. So this is kind of an elf that I did for God tier. She's just kind of a bowman, and it's just greens and kind of this yellow, but there's like this brown orange kind of undertone to the yellow. So I think I'll stick more with the brown and orange look, and maybe a couple hard highlights with the yellow, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And then obviously browns like that's underneath her that you can kind of see down there. And then, like I said, just a couple of spots where it's like a little placement of blue just to get that kind of... I'm a really big fan of the triangle color theory for color wheels. I like using that third, just really kind of minor color to kind of draw your eye to different spots. So I think we figured it out, Dennis.
Woo!
We did it.
See, I'm helpful for some things, even though I never use that thing. I just freaking go.
I use other color wheels sometimes. So
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty bad because what I'll do is if I have an idea or don't have an idea, I'll just pick up one model and paint it, and then paint another one, and I'll have like 5 to 10 different like test models. I'm like, ooh, I want to paint it this color. And I never go through and do some proper planning. Is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, and I actually think more people need to do that. I think you do, Dennis. It's just like you said, you kind of have these test models, and you can do that. But the problem with malifaux is since there's such a low model count, I really can't afford to do that. But if I had like this huge batch, like if I was playing like my Song of Ice and Fire army, I've been doing that with my Baratheons. I have like 3 different paint schemes that I have technically there. Just because I haven't settled down on what I want them to purely look like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's more models, so I can kind of play around with it. But this, it's kind of like, okay, there's only one Maris LaCroix, and if I mess her up, then we're kind of just not gonna be able to change it as easy.
Well, I mean, I know one way. It's called the ice purple alcohol.
Yeah,
Melt that paint right off.
Yikes. Doesn't sound like something I want to get involved in.
Oh, it's not that bad. Okay, I've hit that point. I need a refresher. I'm gonna pull a different model out of the bucket. We're back.
Pull a different model out of the bucket. Alright, I think we got her green skin kind of down. Well, we'll find a way, just give it time. I'm going to have to ask Dennis's opinion on this whiskey golem, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Because we can do the brown-red. Where we can do blue there. And where are we going to put green on this? I don't know. Maybe I don't worry about this right now.
What, painting the golem?
Well, I'm looking at the golem, and I'm trying to think where I'm going to put green on this, because it's all just wood and metal. There's a couple spots I can put blue on, but I'm really kind of struggling to see where I would put any green on it, except for maybe this net.
All right, bear with me. What if you did green as like a moss? And you wouldn't have to actually go and get moss to glue onto it, but you could kind of speckle it on, like dry brush it like you do rust or something like that.
I mean, I can show you this. I do have kind of like this moss of like actual tufts that I put on bases, so I don't know if just putting that on the base maybe is good enough. I don't know.
Well, you could do it on the base. You could do it on the wood, like the wood's kind of old and gotten wet and not been treated very well.
Yeah.
It's the wrong box.
I think if I just had random green splotches on the wood, though, that might look weird.
Yeah. Don't mind me. Just digging through everything. All right.
I'll have to get creative with that, I think. I'll have to see if I can, if there's, I'll have to look at models and see if there's something I can replicate with that.
Yeah.
All right, but what I want to test is I'm going to put this red on, and I'm going to put a brown wash over it, and I want to see how that looks. So let's do it on one of these drunken monks. I'm just kind of curious how I'm going to make that look. This is going to be a test model. And then we'll kind of see where that looks, and then we'll probably wrap it up and do some more painting tomorrow night.
Sounds good. I'm trying to pull out some of those Blood Rage models we were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it'll be my palette cleanser.
Yeah. That's another
Kinda
thing.
like
That's another thing I think people have to do when they're painting.
What, have a palette cleanser?
Yeah.
I always do.
Well, like, what do you mean when you say that? Just for people go back and kind of listen to this, or people that are listening right now, what do you mean by that?
So prime example, I've got about, I don't know, 40 to 60 Necron models. I'm too lazy to count them all right now.
Yeah.
And I've been going through and doing the pen highlighting, which is just like inverse of edge highlighting. And I've grown a little bit bored of it, so I'm switching to a completely different project that I've half completed, and I'm working on those for a bit until I get bored of that, and then I'll switch back.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by palette cleanser personally, but I do know that there's some people I talk to that are just like, yeah, I paint, and when I paint, I go from step one to step, to the finish line without even having any break of any sort.
I mean, I can do that. It just depends on how much I'm getting into a model. This crew, I will not be like this Bayou stuff. I'm going to be putting so much time and effort into that I don't see me being able to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of detail, and I'm really going to put some TLC into these models.
Well, and I think there's two parts of it. One, it's what project are you working on, and then two, everybody's a little bit different. And I think to sit there and say, oh, there's only one way to paint, or there's only one, to sit there and say people with multiple projects are doing it wrong. That's not the right way to be.
Yeah. Hell, man, I have like 8 different things I'm painting.
Me too.
A couple of them I've been painting for like months. Alright, so that's going to be the red. So we need to wash that and see what the hell it's going to look like.
Well, it's funny because sometimes, like, especially for me, if I'm working on something I'm really, really into and I really, really care about, I will sit there and overthink it and do too much to, like, small space, right?
Yeah.
So having that palette cleanser kind of helps me break my mind of that mold of perfection, got to make it perfect, and allows me to come back later and just go, okay, let's just get this done.
Yeah, see,
like
I think I'm starting to see something cool here, because I got this, so it's almost going to be like this brown-red kind of tunic that he's wearing, brown pants, even like some little black shoes that this dude has on, maybe even a blue sash here. Or I might not even go with a blue sash. I might even just do the sash also brown, and then maybe just do blue on these bottles. I think that blue color I actually just want to keep on small things on each model. Just kind of be like one or two things on the model where it's just a tiny bit of blue and it just pops off the brown and orangish brown kind of stuff. And then obviously he has the green skin, so the green skin's going to clash and kind of complement well with the red that he has. All right, let's see what a brown wash is going to look like on this bastard.
There we go.
Round and round. All right, well, the chat's kind of died down, so I'm going to turn that off because my phone doesn't need to have just me watching myself there. Okay.
The only part that I don't like about the palette cleanser having, multiple projects that somebody put away for months is coming back and going, okay, so what colors were I using?
Yeah, that is, or the one I don't like is when I'm doing a commission and they're like, "Oh, can you add this to the army?" and they want it to be matched. And I'm like, "Crap, what colors did I even use on that?"
Have you had to color match somebody else's paint scheme?
Uh, I don't do that a lot because I hate doing it.
Yeah,
So
I did that once.
I'll really do it if they want me to, but I try not to.
I did it once, and that's the last time I'll ever do that. It was so painful.
Yeah, like you don't pay me enough to do this.
Exactly. All right.
I might just, and honestly, I think I'm gonna go to my game shop tomorrow, and I'm gonna see if I can find a good brown red. Like it, I mean, browse, let's see if GW has any kind of brown reds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is, I'll see what it looks like when it dries, but I don't think that's it. That's not what I'm looking for, I don't think.
Well, you're using corn red, right?
Yeah, it's corn red, and then I put a sepia wash over it.
Hmm.
And it's dark. I just don't think it's what I really want it to be, that kind of like scarab kind of red, you know what I'm saying? Like this kind of brown, kind of dried up blood red.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what this looks like. I'm going to go to you while I'm checking that out. Tiny man in the window, going to blow you up.
Okay, is my face no longer in the way?
Correct.
Tried.
Hey, we can see what you're painting too. That's a big ass model.
It's not that big. Come on.
All right.
It's a giant.
Games Workshop. Or no, I just want to go Citadel Paints. Paints.
Oh, wait.
Citadel Paints app. Sure, let's try installing that. That looks official. All of a sudden, my phone gets like a virus. Oh, God. So much porn on my phone. All right. Paint, custom, paint model, basing, inventory, and wish list. I think that's what we want. Sort by, refine. Okay. I wish I could do it by like colors. All right, guess we're just gonna have to go down. That's a dry brush. Let's refine. Let's do base and layer. All right, let's see what we got color wise. Nope, nope, nope. Doom Bowl Brown. What does this look like?
It's a pretty healthy red brown.
Is it?
Yep. I actually really like that color a lot.
Well, and there's corn red, which I got in front of me, and it's just it's too red. So the Feast on red, what the hell does that kind of look like?
Brighter red.
Yeah. We got Morn Thing brown. That's brown. Squig orange. Okay, I gotta look what squig orange looks like. That's could be interesting. Tuscagore fur.
It's like a weird.
What's this Wazdaka red?
See, that one I've never used before. I couldn't tell you.
I'll take a look at it here in a second. Word Bearers red. What about that one?
It'd be more of a purple red, wouldn't it?
This doesn't do a good job of really showing.
Let me guess. It's just like a flat color swatch.
Yes.
Gross. They need to not do that. That's awful.
All right. Was
It's my strong opinion.
Was DACA red? Let's see what this looks like. Images. Go back. All right. Was DACA red? Okay, that looks more like. That looks like more of like a mix of red and pinkish, kind of in that kind of color space. So that's probably not it. Let's see what Word Bearer's red looks like.
And I'm just saying, whoever complained about these contrast paints, they're really missing out.
Yeah.
So many uses.
I'm going to send you a couple pictures of this one. I'm going to see what you think. This is Word Bearer's red.
Okay.
I can't. I'll send you a picture of that and see what you think. That's kind of interesting.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you're fine. Let's see here. What's another one here? What's that brown one I was looking at? That is not it. Not the Wazdaka. Tuskor Fur. Tuskor Fur. Images. I think it's this Doom Bolt brown. But this Skag brown maybe too. E-paint, not this random dude. Dennis must be yelling at his roommates. Now, let me go back to what I'm doing. Since Dennis just yeeted everybody, he was like, I'm out. There we go. Sorry for that. While I was talking, I didn't quite look at it. Yeah, I think it's a Skag brown. Sorry, being all sniffly. Because I think I can do this brown and then kind of build up. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think this kind of this Scrag Brown mixing it with that Doom Bowl. See what Dennis thinks about that when he comes back, but I think that's kind of what I want. All right, anyways, because that kind of red, yeah, it's just looking at them, like it's kind of still more red than I want it to be. So we'll mess with that a little later. All right. Well, I don't know what Dennis is doing, but we've been doing this now for about an hour and a half. We'll kind of call it there. I think we got a good paint scheme set up, so tomorrow I should really kind of hit the ground running with that. Those of you that hopped on, thanks for hanging out with us. Sorry, sniffing. But like, subscribe, share. We do this every now and then just so you can kind of see what we're doing. I'll keep streaming this. I've been kind of in a bad habit of doing a little bit of this and jumping to another model. So the next couple times I stream, which will be tomorrow around the same time, about 10 p.m. Eastern time, I'll stream these models, and then when I do it again, I'll stream these again until I have both these crews finished, so I'm not jumping around from models to models, and you can kind of see it from more start to finish kind of thing. Don't usually I didn't get as much done as I usually do, just because I kind of really didn't have a good scheme down. But now that I have an idea, I can go get the paints that I need. I might even have some of those paints. I got to see if I have the Doom Bowl, and then I know I don't have the Scrag Brown there. But yeah, we'll go ahead and I'm going to wrap that up there. We'll do this again tomorrow. It'll be more painting tomorrow. We did get some good talk with some color wheels and kind of color theory a little bit, and that's how we kind of came up with the scheme that we had. So it'll look pretty cool. And just to give you guys a quick reminder of kind of where I'm going to go with this crew. So we already have the green, but the green's going to be for their skin. So you can kind of see this with Zip. Okay. So the green is kind of what his skin's going to look like. We might even highlight to more of that neon that we see on this elf. The browns we'll see on kind of like the boots and stuff. We'll have more metals for sure, especially a lot of steels and some bronze on this. And then we'll kind of, if you look at some of this, especially on the backside, you can see it where it's more brown and orange. That's what we're going to have for like Zip and his crew. So like for this model with Zip, like his tunic will be that kind of brown built up to orange look. And then we'll do blue on his goggles, and we'll do browns on his boots and stuff. So that's where we're going to go with this crew. So we have a good idea. We talked out the color theory just because I just assembled these models like the last 2 days, so I didn't really have a good scheme in my mind. But it's good to talk with people and kind of just think of some of those ideas that you have, for sure. I don't know what Dennis is doing, but I'm going to cut that feed. Transition to it. There we go. So go ahead and join us tomorrow on the June 13th, and we'll go ahead and paint some more stuff up, get some cool things down. Dennis will be back with us. It's always great talking with him about how these schemes work. So until next time, make sure that you guys roll dice and throw some salt. Make sure that you play malifaux. These models are really cool. Once you get them assembled,